Hi team! How is everyone out there today? It is a wild and woolly day here today. Such a juxtaposition actually from what I'm hearing from other people that I've been working with in the States. They're saying that it's glorious, and the UK are having a bit of a heat wave, so we're trying to meet somewhere in the middle, but you can see that I'm slightly weather obsessed at the moment as we kind of move our way through winter. But what I wanted to jump on primarily and have a chat about today was something that seems to be coming up a lot at the moment. And I don't know if you notice how things tend to roll like that, how you hear about something and then all of a sudden you hear about it sort of 5 or 6 times over, so things start to come into your conscious awareness. Hi Jodie. So the same sort of thing tends to happen with writers that I'm working with. You know, I'll experience one particular challenge or challenge of perception or whatever it is that's coming up for them, and then the next 3 or 4 writers that I see will have a similar thing going on. So it seems to come through in waves, waves of yeah, just patterns that come up. And so one of the things that really struck me from the weekend when I was away teaching a couple of clinics and also working with people one-on-one was the perceptions that we have around success. And a lot of the time we're very aware of our own predefined limitations or our own challenges, and that can become a real point of focus that we try to work through. So if I was to ask you right now what some challenges were that you're facing in your writing, no doubt you'd be able to kind of reel them off pretty succinctly and give me a fairly clear idea about what that is for you or how that's manifesting for you right now. But what I find really interesting is how we cope with things when they're going well, or how we deal with success. And a question that I generally deal with straight off the bat, especially when I'm working with competitive writers in a one-on-one setting, is, well, how much success can you handle? You know, what represents like too much success? And that seems like such a ridiculous question. You know, it can almost be counterintuitive, but actually we have a comfort zone for how much good stuff we can handle as well, not just how much negative stuff we can handle. And understanding what that parameter or what that comfort zone is so enlightening, because it then reflects back to us some of these, for want of a better word, bullshit beliefs that we hold that are really fixing us to one spot or holding us in one place. A lot of the time it comes back to the feeling that you're not good enough, or that you don't deserve a certain thing that's happening or that you want, or that you're somehow not aligned internally and externally with that goal. And what I mean by aligned is, yes, we have this vision of what it is that we want to achieve, and we know on a really conscious level that that represents success and the manifestation of everything that we're working towards with our horses. But if internally that is out of alignment with what we actually think about and actually believe about ourselves, then we have this juxtaposition. Jodie, yeah, totally. We don't think about it much because we don't pay attention to things going well, or, you know, that's not generally and naturally where our focus heads to. So, to flip it around on its head and ask yourself, like, at what point am I uncomfortable with a certain level of success, can be really illuminating. And it's, like I say, something that I have been dealing with regularly with writers of late. So that if you can kind of sit with that for a little while and see what comes up and see at what point you feel out of your depth, or you start to get that internal feeling of like, oh, that would be amazing, but you know, you're not completely in alignment with that goal, then there's some work that needs to be done on an internal level to get you in alignment with that goal, basically. I think a lot of the time what defines us in terms of success or non-success, I don't want to say failure, and again, success is such a subjective term. I'm kind of flinging that around randomly at the moment, but it really is very dependent on what your individual aspirations are. So I'm just going to use that in a very generalized fashion. But persistence, persistence and resilience, and that the ability to kind of keep on keeping on is huge. And I think that that is a really big determining factor in writers that perhaps push through to the next stage, and those who feel like they're circling around in the same zone and kind of repeating the same patterns and even repeating the same outcomes. So it might be if you do have aspirations to compete at a really high level and you're finding yourself always stuck at a certain stage or repeating a similar pattern or not being able to make that jump up, provided that on a physical level and a skill set level, you are capable of doing what it is that you're asking of yourself, and your horse is capable of doing what it is that you're asking of him or her, then really that differential and that point which is going to make the difference between doing and not doing is your mindset, is your capacity to fortify yourself against outside forces and really be able to deal effectively with pressure in all different all different sorts of situations. I just started to trip over my words in excitability. So when it comes to success, what I think often happens as well, and this is something I've been musing about, is we're not so quick to celebrate ourselves, and we're generally not so quick to celebrate others. So my own personal perception is that the horse world is just the most incredible world. I hear all the time about, the horse world is this, the horse people are that. I think everything is what you make it, and there is good and bad in everything. I don't really even like using those terms, but there's differences of opinion in everything, and I come across the most incredible people in the horse world. So I choose to focus on that fact, that there's just the most incredible people out there. But I know for a lot of us, we have trouble acknowledging and celebrating our own success. And we can have trouble acknowledging and celebrating the success in other people, and that is one and the same, really. Generally, if you're finding yourself being quite judgmental of other people's success, it doesn't really say much about them, but it says a lot about you, about what perhaps your aspirations are. It might trigger some discomfort in you about what level you're looking to step up to. And that can be a really interesting point of self-reflection. If you do feel triggered by someone else's success and, current circumstances, then what is it specifically about that situation that is concerning you? And what specifically about that situation pushes your buttons? And then what are you going to do about it? Because it's nothing to do with them. And, the only thing that really we can control is ourselves and our own response to what's going on around us. So, kind of moving on from that, I think what we lack on a generalized level are really good role models, people who inspire us, and people who can model for us behaviors which we also aspire to be. So what I mean by that is people that celebrate their successes, not in kind of an arrogant or up themselves way, but just in a way that acknowledges the beauty in the situation and allows them to really revel in that positivity. And I don't so much want you to search for this, but I want you to be this yourself. I want you to allow yourself to be shiny, to allow yourself to be successful, and to really recognize the good stuff that's happening for you right now and celebrate that, and simultaneously celebrate that in other people. And I think when we're able to create a culture like that, when you're able to both present that as a mode of operation for yourself and kind of be that as you move through your riding and through the world, then it's contagious, and you allow other people to be the same. So yes, we have some incredible role models in the horse world that are competing at a really elite level, and that's fantastic. But what I want to do is really bring it down to the day-to-day, and for you to think about what your notions of success are, how you yourself frame and step into success, and what possible internal barriers you feel to experiencing a certain outcome, for example, or achieving a certain result. And then being really inquisitive about how that manifests for you or what that triggers, And then again, just choosing to be quietly confident in what it is that you're doing, to understand that there has to be a certain degree of flexibility to any plan that we commit to or operate within, and it's that resilience and persistence to sort of push through these barriers on an ongoing basis, to step up on a daily basis and to really kind of embody what it is that you're looking to seek out yourself. So, a little bit in depth, I know, but I've really been musing about this a lot, and I feel so passionate about it. About, you know, if you're feeling like you're not within a writing culture that is celebratory of success, then don't wait for it to come. You know, don't wait for someone else to be that. Be that yourself. Be the person that celebrates. Be the person that celebrates not only yourself, but celebrates others. Be mindful of those moments when you have that reaction to someone else's, you know, wins or good fortune, and see what that illuminates for you that you can then deal with and push through. Because everything is such a work in progress, and it's definitely a case a lot of the time of new level, new devil. So we move through one barrier and then, you know, the next one illuminates, and we can forget even 12 months down the track what we've been dealing with 12 months previously. And that's evolution. That's the fantastic and fabulous adventure that we're on. And really the gift that our horses provide for us, in that they give us this point of focus which really requires us to step up to the platform. And if we are aspiring to create a partnership with our horse that's based on unity and trust and understanding, then we need to make sure that we are operating with total clarity and really in charge of our own emotional state, as much as is humanly possible, basically. So I would, I'm just always so keen to hear your thoughts. If you have any feedback for me on this, or want to share your own experiences, then please do so. It's always so great to hear from you. I'm just going to do a few more of these live sessions over the course of the week on different subjects. So if you have something that you want to hear about, hit me up with it. I've got a few questions in my inbox that I'm going to run through, and I hope you all have a fabulous day. I hope wherever you are the sun is shining, and I certainly hope this rain pushes off pretty quickly. All right team, have a fabulous time. Bye.